that
like this.
he was really good at karate, especially in the school, and he asked me whether you...
I was always on white belt.
Oh, really?
So every time I was in the karate class, I was like, sir, well, when am I going to get my brown belt or, yellow belt or black belt or blue belt? He was like, beta, what you're supposed to do, you're not doing that. I was like, okay, sir, I know kata. He was like, show me. I was like, this and this. I was like, no, you're doing it wrong. So I never understood kata. I don't know how you can actually defend yourself, but I think we have affiliated something really important with it, and that is, imagine that we want to kind of talk about the mental health of our future generations and how these contact sports or any other sport for that matter can actually help them regulate their emotions, and that's one important aspect of their livelihood, of their future, and it's totally dependent on the personality that they shape up as well. And to talk about it, we are very lucky that we've actually been joined by somebody who's been representing, the nationals in the nationals as well. Not just that, he's represented Pakistan in internationals. He's got his own academy. He's a marketing manager himself. He's a great guy, and at the age of whatever his age is, whatever his age is, I'm not going to give it away. He looks younger than me. I think this is fantastic to see as well. So you can stay fit with karate. But that one question which always comes to your mind is that imagine that when we used to do karate in our school, so we used to apply it on our, class fellows as well. Don't do that.
Or maybe siblings, right?
Yeah, or
if
siblings as well.
Angry.
Or nephews, so if my nephews are out there,
really?
you need to see this as well, because imagine, so when I was probably 12 years old, my nephew was 5 or 6 years old. Alhamdulillah, my parents, they were quite good at reproducing. So alhamdulillah, I think everybody kind of got the hold of it as well. But finally, ladies and gentlemen, let's kind of introduce our wonderful guest over here inside the studios. We're very lucky that we've actually been joined by Muhammad Adnan Aslam Saab. He happens to be an international karate player, runs his own academy. Assalamu alaikum. Good morning. How are you feeling today?
Walaikum assalam, and thank you very much for inviting me, and once again thank you for introducing me in a very lovely way.
And you truly deserve it as well. And sir, how do you do it? What do you call it when in karate, you go, you say, something
Actually, it's not in karate, it's in kung fu.
Okay.
It's a it's a respect. We use this in kung fu. In karate, we use bow.
Wow.
It's called
and
in
what do we
Japanese
call?
way, yes, it's bow in karate, rei or bow.
Rei
yes.
or bow?
Rei in the Japanese word,
okay,
and bow in the English word.
But I think we have chosen a very important topic, and Shahzad also put some light on it. That is that in order to regulate your emotional and mental health, and especially when we are talking about kids, because kids feel a lot of influx of energy, right? They're so energetic, they're so hyper, running here and there. How to manage that energy, how to control that and regulate their emotions, and where does karate come into that equation? So since you are an expert in the field, I'm pretty sure you are interacting with plenty of kids. What sort of changes have you witnessed, and how important it is, karate, when it comes to children's regulating their emotional health?
Thank you very much. Your question is very much important. First of all, I would like to inform you that when we talk about karate, and mostly people think that we are talking about just kick, punch and fight.
Yes.
Although it's very important part, we cannot ignore this part of self-defense. But in another way, we can say that karate is the way of life.
Right.
And you are talking
like
about
kicking and boxing.
not only kicking and boxing. The main element is karate teaches you the respect and the discipline, which is the main part of this karate. The beauty of this karate.
I think our mothers are very expert karate players, right? We have been getting lots
Actually, you're just telling me that especially the children who are hyperactive, and mostly mothers come to me and said, sir, my children is very hyperactive and please do something for that. And I have experienced so many times that the karate is not only for physical fitness, also very important for the mental health.
Wow.
It's just because the karate teaches you how to control your emotions, how to channelize your energy, how to channelize your emotions, even how to channelize your aggression.
But sir, this is something which is surprising for me now. Imagine that, whenever you talk about karate, or because, I've been a part of such camps where you learn karate as well. I think other than regulating your emotions, you're regulating your punches and kicks as well. So this is one thing, gussa aa raha hai, kick maar do, because you've learned about it. If you cannot control your emotion, punch the other guy, or probably all of this. So you start to apply that as well. So please, can you elaborate on that? Whether how do we, or how do children, or how do you think that it will have its impact on children to regulate their emotions?
Yes, definitely. Just you were telling that in schools, like children, they learn karate and apply to their brothers and sisters. And mostly parents also complaining that our children very hyperactive and they are fighting with our brothers and sisters. Actually, this happens especially for beginners.
तो देखिए जो अभी बच्चा दिखा रहे कितना सीरियस शक्ल है, अब ये बच्चों की शक्लें इतनी सीरियस थोड़ी होनी चाहिए. Look at them. Without a smile, they're just punching. I mean, yeah. So please continue, sir.
Actually, when we are practicing karate, it's a discipline. It's very serious. They are not laughing. It's just because of respect and discipline.
Right.
Because your teacher is over there and he is teaching. So it's very bad why you are laughing during the practice.
And I think that's another way of saying, it's a self-defense mechanism also. And we've seen there are lots of conversation, especially in these times about body consent, right? And these are the topics that are very tricky, especially for their parents to teach to their kids, right? And in order to have the better interaction, I think karate can be one of the channels through which they can talk about self-defense, about the body consent and assertiveness, because Shehzad was mentioning that they're not smiling at all, right? They're very assertive in their demeanor, in their body language, right? So when you talk about these sort of very important topics, right, how do you approach it when it comes to karate kids, and how karate helps you in initiating a conversation on body self-defense, body consent and assertiveness, setting boundaries, especially teaching the children?
I would like to tell you that when you are practicing karate, with the passage of time, your not physical health improve, your mental health as well improving. And especially when we teach karate, it's not only a stressful environment, unless you are pointing out that they are very serious, but we give a healthy environment and friendly environment as well. But the main thing is that when you start practicing karate, you will learn gradually how to control your emotions. Which is how I elaborate this topic. In start, when you are beginner, you cannot control your emotions. You just start fighting, punching and kicking. But with the passage of time, when you are gradually getting belts and going towards brown belt and a black belt, as you become seniors, you will become more passionate, you will become more control in your emotions. You can easily go. You know very well that now you are a powerful man, you have a power in your punch, you have a power in your kick. So you cannot use unless until it is necessary for your self-defense, because it's our
And this is exactly that something which I've experienced. Now imagine that I know a couple of fighters, who have represented in UFC, not just that, in one championship as well, which is the highest level contact sport these days. Now imagine that I was in conversation with him, and probably 2 years back they were training me at the gym as well, and I was like, how does it happen? How does it work for you? Do you feel very confident while you're outside? Because you certainly do not feel vulnerable. There's so much skill that you possess that you can defend yourself at any time. So that was the time when he told me that that with so much of vigorous training, one thing that we generalize is that we only keep it within the ring. We never bring it outside the ring as well, and that's something that we really need to kind of make sure. Because unfortunately, they can be very lethal weapons, all of these people who train so vigorously. That's one thing. But on the other hand, what I've seen is that I've seen all of these people who train so vigorously, maybe any contact sport, that, that they have a very healthier mindset, they have a very healthier body, they, the way that they think, they're very calm, in person. Unless somebody is going to provoke them, that's a very different story. How do you think, let's take examples. Now, for example, a child came to you, a child who was 6 years old, 7 years old, their parents kind of complained that, sir, he might have, some issues, he throws things away, he's got tantrums and whatnot. How are you going to explain to us that, with 3 months or 5 months of training, the child was able to regulate his emotions, he was a calmer person, he was more disciplined, or she was more disciplined? Please take us through.
See, actually, as I told you earlier, that so many parents comes and they always told me, sir, our child is very hyperactive and we are very much disturbed. And I have seen, it's my personal experience, after 5 to 6 months training, parents gave me a feedback that, sir, we are very happy that we have seen the changes at least 180-degree angle. Because with the passage of time, we teach them how to channelize your aggression into energy, how to channelize your energy into positive way. Because in training we teach slowly and gradually towards tough training.
Yeah.
And we teach fight, and also in start with teach fight how to control the fight, how to control in fight.
Yeah,
Especially when
that's
you are
important.
teaching, when you are fighting with your club fellows, your academy fellows, do not hit hardly. Because this is the way to teach them how to control. Especially when you are in street fight, when you are in self-defense, we also teach them just show your skills in self-defense, not as aggression or in hard way. So this is the way the karate is. If you are a karate practitioner, with the passage of time, you learn how to control your emotions, you learn how to control your anger, and this is also improve your mental health, because when you are starting practicing, we focus on mind, focus, concentration. So this is the way. If you think that we are living in very stressful environment, over anxiety and stress is day by day increasing in our society. And is the karate exercises play a main role to increase your happy hormones and reduce the stress hormones. This is the way it's improve your mental health as well.
And Adnan sir, thank you so much for pointing out this mind-body connection, which is very important, especially when you talk about concentration, because I think one of the feature of this 21st century of the modern digital era is that we have plenty of wealth of information out there, but there is no wisdom out there, right? And this is because there's so much digital connection out there. There's a physical disconnect. You know, Shahzad and I experienced a childhood which was much different, right? We used to play in the streets. We have lots of physical activity, but now children are not that much involved in physical activity, right? So number one, as someone who's an expert in the field, who's teaching karate to the kids out there, what sort of future do you see, do you feel it's getting popular in Pakistan? And secondly, as a sports, what sort of future do you witness in terms of, in the context of Pakistan? Because cricket is given a lot of attention, you know, it's not just a sport, it's more than that, right? It's a lot of emotions involved, and there is a commercial element involved in it, but you know, you can't say the same about the karate in Pakistan, but you know, how do you see it?
Actually, I think I've actually know that karate is a very popular, very famous, and mashallah Shahzad sir is doing very well program. I have seen that he is very good in sports programs, especially in cricket.
Of course,
cricket, no doubt.
Karate as well. Soon.
With the passage of time, karate in past it was not in popular, but with the passage of time of karate, especially I'm talking about karate, not other sports. Karate is gradually improving day by day and getting popularity. It's also, I must give the credit to our Pakistan Karate Federation and the chairman, Sir Jangir sir. We are focusing on karate, especially to promote in young generation. Inshallah, in future, I am very much confident we have a great talent like in cricket. Inshallah, we are producing champions, and they are going outside and they are bringing the medals or for Pakistan.
Exactly, and you yourself, alhamdulillah, won numerous medals for Pakistan. But while we were at it, or just on a lighter note, okay, I know that all of a sudden, people from all sorts of different point of views will come in and jump in as well. Now, you actually touched upon a very important aspect. Now, imagine that for me and Hajar to kind of be in this field, be on television, we really need to make sure that, that while we are on live television, that we are taking maximum advantage of this brain that Allah has blessed us with. That, that the words which come out will make sense, the words will have impact on the audiences. So you're always using it. And this is something that you touched upon. You said that, that we really teach those children, how to actually make sure that you use your brain rather than be emotionally dependent while you're in a fight or in a competition. So this is the kind of rigorous training that you certainly need. You need to train your brain, you need to train your emotions, you need to make sure that, that you're actually a part of the game while understanding it beautifully, that, okay, I need to time my punches, I need to defend myself. But why is it that whenever a wife will have an argument with the husband or the husband with the wife, why do you think that we cannot control our emotions and we say whatever comes into our mouth? That's a simple question.
Because never learned karate in the bachpana, that's why. This is the missing gap.
But I think all the wives are coming equipped with karate as well, or probably the husband. Just do you think that a person who's actually into such sports can actually have a greater control over, their mouth or probably their brain, their emotion, every aspect of their life?
You definitely, if a person especially who's expert in karate or martial art, So he has better control in emotions as compared to others.
यानी आपकी लड़ाई नहीं होती.
You have said because karate, if you are a black belt or you are a master, but you are not a master at home. In front of your wife, your wife is a grandmaster, and you can.
You have to bow.
Yes, you have to bow. So this is the way karate or martial art teach you how to channelize your aggression in front of your wife.
क्या फायदा क्या हुआ था? क्या फायदा? But yeah, I think you've touched upon it very rightfully as well, and it was on a lighter note, obviously. But I think I'm going to come back to or revert to where Hajra actually mentioned that we have lesser sports now.
True.
The kind of schools that our children go to do not have playgrounds, you know, and not just that, you know, even when they come back home, obviously life has become so tough now that, you know, both the partners have to work. Probably, you know, 9 to 5 or whatever businesses that they're involved with. There's lesser time that they can share with their kids. So how do you think that in days to come, probably the parents really need to kind of think about making sure, because see, not everybody will get a Samba Club's membership or Gymkhana's membership. So we really need the mushroom growth of such clubs where, you know, the child can go, be safe in the first place, be secure, you know, and then learn a new skill every single day.
Yes.
Do you think that in days to come this will be something?
And can we teach our kids the karate, like, you know, can it be a home taught sort of a thing or self taught sort of a thing, or it requires some coach to administer those, you know, punches and kicks and whatever it is?
मैं इसको उर्दू में कहूँगा सर, क्योंकि हमारी देखिए अम्मी सारी जो है ना तकरीबन हमारी जो कैटेगरी है वो सब ब्लैक बेल्ट है.
Exactly. ऐसे ही.
अब्बू भी माशाल्लाह उनको क्यों छोड़ रहे हैं?
Especially mothers are very expert in the martial arts. Or especially you are very right. We are less facilities, especially in schools. We don't have any big grounds in schools, or especially our young generation is going to be busy in gadgets mostly. You see that we have so many academies, we have so many clubs in all areas. As I told you that even our sports federations, they are working on it. So it's very easy to send their child to any nearby sports academies. And the main is that the qualified coach and the qualified instructor, not on everywhere. Especially this is my message to the parents. Whenever they want to send their kids in an academy, first they check the profile, whether they are the qualified coach or not. Then it is very important for young generation. Because it is, as I told you, that is very important for their physical and their mental health. If you send their child and he will spend 2 or 3 hours in academy, it is a healthy, because our academies provides a very healthy environment and the social environment as well. So it is very better to rather your children sit in a room and using a mobile or gadgets. It's better to send in the dojos.
I think, you know, that was a beautiful message, and I would like to kind of second that as well. Why do you need a certified trainer? Now imagine a trainer would know the body type, number one. He would know or she would know how much exercise is required. Then they would know what angles to kind of take on those exercises. Because unfortunately, these contact sports can actually lead towards injuries as well. We do not have any specialized hospital which actually kind of looks into sports injuries. This is one thing that in future I would love that, you know, that Pakistan or the people who are actually affiliated with sports kind of work on, that we have trained physicians, you know, or physiotherapists for that matter, who can actually train injuries which are because of sports as well. And I've struggled quite a lot because I've played polo, I've played basketball, you know, I was going to the gym. Unfortunately, what I did with my back is something that shouldn't have happened, or probably, you know, come back stronger. So I think for everybody, ladies and gentlemen, please make sure that you take your kids to for such activities. May them be swimming, any activity. We're not saying karate only. You know, any healthy activity outdoors. This is something which is important, essential. And with that,
we are going on a short break, and after we come back, we have an interesting discussion lined up. Don't go anywhere.
प्यारे दोस्त आए.
Thank you so much.